So let's start. The question is quite easy. The question is combine two tables. It's an easy category question. Let's see how to solve this one. Okay. So first of all, before solving any question, what I want you to know is you have to first understand how are we going to approach the question. So we'll break the question in small parts and then approach it. So the question says that we have a person table, right? You can see the name of the table person. And these are the column names, person ID, last name and first name. And it is int, person ID is int, that means based on numbers. Last name is varchar and first name is varchar as well. Okay. And they have particularly specified that person ID is the primary key column of the table. Okay. So that means key, this is the primary key column of the table. That means that it holds all the unique IDs for each person. Okay. This table contains information about the ID of some persons and their first last name. They have just given a small overview of the table. Then we have the address table. Address table has column name and type again. The column name is address ID, person ID, city, state. Address ID is int and person ID is int. City is varchar, state is varchar too. So now address ID is the primary key column for this table. One question that I want to ask you all is, can you tell me that which is the common column between both tables, person and address? Take a second and answer it. You can write in the chat. Okay, you can comment down. Which is the common column between both the tables, the person's table and the address table? Yes, person ID is the common column. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be having a join on the basis of what? On the basis of person ID. Why? Because generally when you have something like this, then there are two primary keys. When there's one primary key and the same primary key is present in another table as well, generally the idea here is to have a join. I have not read the question yet, but I am thinking that maybe we have to do a join today. Okay. So the question is the address, write an SQL query to report the first name, last name and the state of each person. So first of all, you need to understand what the question is asking you. So it's asking for the first name, last name and state of each person, right? So these are the three things that you need. Okay. If the address of a person ID is not present in the address table, report null instead. That means here, if we don't have address, if we don't have something in address table, but we have something in the person's table, it is particularly saying that you have to print out first name, last name, city and state. City also is there. Of each person, that means everyone from our person's table should be included. This is our condition, right? You saw the condition that everyone from our person's table should be included. One condition that we saw. Okay. The second line is if the address of a person ID is not present in the address table. That means if you don't have something, if I have a table and in the persons I have a value that is not present in the address, then you have to report null instead. They have given a small example for us to understand the question. Okay, so this is the example. Let me just clear this out for you guys. Now you can see that I have a person table in which I have the name called Wang. Alice is the last name and Alan, Bob are the first names, right? So you can see that we have this thing present. Okay, now then we have the address table. In address table, we have the person ID 2 and 3. And in the person's table, we have the person ID of 1 and 2. Right? In person's table, the ID is 1 and 2. In address table, the person IDs present are 2 and 3. So this is the only common one. So that may mean that we may not have the address of the first person. Do you understand that when I say that we may not have the address of first person because it's not included? Give me a yes or no if you understand that. Yes. Why? Because this person ID 1 is not present in this table. So we don't have the address of the person. We don't know from which city, from which state that person is. Okay. We don't have the person ID 1. We don't know from which state, which city this person is. Now, coming to the output. In output, they have shown the first name, last name, and everything, right? They told you कि everything that is present in a city table, sorry, in the person's table should be there in your answer. That means you need all of this in your answer. Okay. And you need to get the city and state too. And they told us कि if you don't have value of a particular thing, like for example, we don't have value for the person who has the person ID 1, then you have to show null there. Okay. The explanation that they have given is there's no address in the address table for the person ID 1. You can check it out. The person ID whose 1 is Alan. So basically we don't have the address of Alan. Okay. So what they have done is they have printed out the name and last name of Alan. But as we don't have the address of Alan, so they have given null in city as well as state. For Bob Alice, the name is, first name is Bob and the second name is Alice. For Bob Alice, we have the address. You can see the person ID is matching 2. We have the address that he is from New York City and the state is New York. So we printed it out as it is. Okay. So did you understand now what we need to do? We need to print out the person called Alan Wang, right? And if we don't have address, we have to print out null. And at the same time, if you see, we have the address for Bob and Alice. Bob Alice is like the same name, first name, last name. So if we have the address, then we'll print out that address. Do you understand this output? Any doubt in the output? If you have any doubt, please write it. I'll take a look at it and I'll solve it. Understood. Everyone is clear. Okay, thank you. If you have a doubt, you can raise your hand or write in the chat section. I'll take a look at that and I'll help you solve that. Now, coming back, let's see what we have. Anything else if we have the information about? No, nothing else. This is a simple question. The accepted is, they have like around 790 people who have done the solution that was accepted. Submissions are 1.1 million. Okay. So if we want anything, okay, if we want everything from the left table, I told you that this is our table, person table, and we want everything from this. And this is our left table. And this is our right table. Okay. So what are joins doing? Joins are basically adding data from two tables into a single output. If you want first name, last name, city, and state. Remember, city and state are from a different table, right? You can see city and state are from address table, and first name and last name are from the person's table. So they both are from different table. So if you want to show something that are from two different tables, you have to join them. Okay. Now there are a lot of types of join, but what you need to do depends on the output that they are asking for you. From here, you can see that they have asked you कि person's table में everything that is there, you have to print it out, right? This was our condition 1. Do you understand the condition 1? Everything from the person's table should be printed out. It was written. I am not making this condition up. You can check the question. It was written there. Okay. So everything you need, right? So if you need everything from a particular table, for example, this table, generally what we do there is we perform left or right join, depending on the table that you have. Okay. So here, what I'll do here is I'll perform left join. First of all, let me show you the theory of left join. So if you have two tables, table 1 and table 2, I'm considering table 1 as the left table and table 2 as my right table. Okay. So if you want everything from your left table and matching records from the right one, then you will use a left join. So I'll show you this in the Venn diagram format. You can see it gives you everything from your table one, that is your left table, and these are the matching records, right? So if you need the matching records from the right table, here the matching records, if you remember, were that the Bob Alice had the address. So we had person ID too in both which table? Persons table and address table, right? We had both of them. In both of the tables, we had this person ID. So this is our matching record. Okay. So if I can ask you, okay, which person ID will fit in this particular area and which person ID will fit in this area? Can you tell me? If this is X, give me the person ID of X who is in table 1. And if this is Y, give me the person ID that is here. Can you tell me by looking at the Venn diagram? Give me an answer. X and Y are person IDs in our question, okay? And X and Y can be either 1 or 2, you know that, right? In this, if we are taking the example of Alice and Bob, that example, yep. So X is what? If I write the IDs, okay? If I make a table like, if I make a Venn diagram like that, the person ID 1 will fall here. Why? Because that is not in common with the right table. Yes? Do you understand that? The person ID 1 will fall here in the left hand side because this is not in common with the right table. Give me a yes if you understood. Yes, X is equals to 1 and Y is equals to 2. Good. And if I ask you what will come here, looking at the example, can you tell me what will come here if I have a number here? What will come here? If you see this is your left table, this is your right table, right? This is your left table. This is your right table. In both of them, we had the common ID 2. What will come here? The ID that will come here is 3 because this is the only thing that is present in the right table and is not matching with the left one. Do you understand this? Yes, 3 is the correct answer. Thank you everyone for answering it. Now, going ahead further, you understood the question, right? Good, very clear. So now going ahead, I told you that I want everything that is in the left table. That means everything that is here. That means everything from my persons table should be there. And the matching records from the right table. This is the Venn diagram of your left join. Simple explanation. Any doubt till now? Do you understand the Venn diagram? Simple explanation. Any doubts till now? Please comment it down below. I'll help you with that. Very clear. Okay, great. So I'll give you one small example before we solve this question. I'll give you 2 tables. I'll make it here right now with you. Okay. So I'll give you the query also. Please help me with the answer. Like just give me the output that will be there. Easy. So for example, I have a table. Let me make a table. Okay. So I have a table called customers. Here I have the customer ID, the first name. Okay. And I have another table called orders. Here I have the order ID, amount, and customer. Okay. Now I have these IDs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Names are John, Robert, David, John, Betty. These are the names. Okay. And I have the order ID 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Amounts are 200, 500, 300, 800, 150. And here I have the IDs of the customer 10, 3, 6, 5, 8. Okay. Now I'll show you the syntax of left join. First of all, you have to select which columns you need. I'm leaving it for now, which columns I need. Then you decide on which table to join. So I have to join customers table and orders table. Generally what happens is whatever table you write first will be your left table. If you write customers table first, that will be your left table. And if you write orders table first, that will be your left table. Okay. If I write customers, from customers, then this is my left table. For doing a left join, you have to use the key clause left join. Select, I'm leaving it as it is. From customers, this is our left table, table 1. Left join orders. This will be a right table now. Why? Because it is written after the table 1. Table 2. Okay. And then we have to give it a common column. Can you tell me what are the common columns between both of these tables? Customers and orders? No, OID is not the common column. Customer ID will be the common column. Yes. So I'll write on, one second, on customers dot customer ID. That means in customers table, there's a column called customer ID. And in orders table, there's a column called customer ID. Just join on that. Okay. So these are the column names that I write after the dot. And these are the table names, customers table and the orders table. Okay. So it's a simple query. From customers, I'm not writing the select part right now. Select whatever you need from customers. This will be a left table. You don't have to write it. I'm just telling you that. And then if you want to do a left join, you have to use this word left join. And then you'll write orders, right? And this is your right table. That is your table 2. Then you have to write on. On is necessary because you need to specify which is the common column in both of these tables. In both of these tables, these are the common column. Like I told you in these table, person ID will be the common column. You can see. Similarly, in this table, this is your common column. Okay. Now I'm telling you what I need from this table. Suppose I need customer ID, first name and amount. What do I need? Customer ID, first name and amount. These are the things that I need. Okay. So whatever I need, I have to write it in the select. So if I need something from the customers table, I have to write it like this: customers dot customer ID, comma, I need a first name, so I'll write customers dot first name. Can anyone tell me how will I write the amount? If I need the amount from the orders table, what will be the syntax for that? Tell me, what will be the syntax for the amount that I need from the orders table? Simple syntax will be there. Yes, orders dot amount. That's great. Okay, so I'll write orders dot amount and I'll get my answer ready. Okay, so I'll show you this query once again. Orders dot amount. Okay, so this is your query. This is how you should write it. Now, I just want you to help me with the output of this. Can you help me with the output? What will I get? Make a Venn diagram. Make a small Venn diagram. See, okay. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the customer's ID, right? And I have 10, 3, 6, 5. Okay, let me see the common one. Common ones are 3 and 5. Okay, so I'll write 3 and 5 common. And I'm doing left join. That means everything from the left table will be there. So from the left table, which IDs I have? 1, 2, 4. Because 3 and 5 we have already written. So here we'll have 1, 2, and 4. Right? So this is how your Venn diagram should look. Yes, okay. So now in left join, I told you, I'll take your doubts. Give me a second. In left join, I told you that we need everything from this table and the common. So in my output, if I get my output, what will I get in the output is first name, last name, and the, sorry, first name, last name, amount, and a customer ID. Okay, this is what I should get in my output. So I'll get all of them, all of the customer ID from this table because this is my left table. So I'll write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then first name I'll get everything, John, Robert, David, John, and Betty. Okay, next, what I need? I need the amount. Can you tell me for which values I'll have the amount? I'll have the amount only for the common values, you know, right? 3 and 5, I'll have the amount. So I'll have this amount and this amount. Everything else, what will I get there? You'll get the null values, right? Okay. So everywhere else, you'll get the null. Wherever you have the amount, you'll get the amount. Everywhere else, you'll get the null. You understood this? This was an easy example. We understood how it's done. Give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat section. You can comment it down if you understood that. Great. So easy explanation. Good. So Madhu Kumar has a doubt. Let's take it also. Madhu, what's your doubt? Do you have a doubt? Yeah, I have one.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, do we need to connect the table? Should we have only the same column, or the records also should be same?
No, you need to have the same common column, like common column on which you are trying to join. Because whenever you write the join, the syntax will be select whatever you need from. And then whenever you are, suppose you are doing the left join right now. And then you have to see on what column do you need to join. So there has to be 2 columns from 2 tables if you need to join on them. And that is why they are needed. These are the common columns. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. But if we have distinct values, so it will give the null values, right? From the right table, if we join with the left table.
Yeah, if it will give everything from the left table. If you don't have a match, for example, there was no 3 or 5 there. So nothing from that table will be there. Okay. 3 and 5 is not
Hence,
there, then amount for everything will be null, right? Because we
yes,
don't
yes.
have the values.
A small thing that I want to mention here. Then what is the point of matching the tables? If we having the old null values inside, this is the scenario that I got like a doubt. What is the like uh, uh, I forgot.
Right now
Try
in
to
the
join
question,
this?
right now in the question that you had, for example, in this one, you had some null values, okay? But suppose you want to get both of the information. Suppose you want to get the name and the amount of a particular person. So instead of looking in 2 tables separately, you can get it. Suppose we didn't have a lot of null values and there are 1,000 rows in your answer and only 50 are null. Then it will again prove beneficial for you again, right? This is just one
Yes.
scenario where you're getting a lot of null. So I think it's a valid question, but generally it's not the case.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Okay, one other person raised their hand as well. Can you please ask? Prateek, I guess.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I was just asking that this null value that we are getting, so like this whole after joining that the resultant that we are getting, is it like stored in a temporary table or permanent table? And what are these nulls, data type of nulls? Are these like varchar type or null data type? What is the data type of this?
Okay. So basically your question is what is a null data type in SQL? So a field with a null value is a field that has no value. Suppose you were taking a survey and some people decided not to answer one question, right? So you are filling your table with the uh, survey that you had, and there you don't have an answer to a particular question, right? So there you will leave it empty. Okay, so that means a field with a null value is a field with no value, don't have any value there. If a field, for example, I'm filling a Google form and a field in a Google form is left optional, it is possible that some people may answer it and some people may not. Okay, you can insert a new record or update a record without adding a value to this field that has been left optional, and it will be saved with a null value. Okay, so if you ask what is a null data type, null is a special data type which can only have one value, that is null. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. Thank
fine,
you.
welcome. So also one more thing, a null database field means that there is no value for a given record. Like it basically indicates the absence of a particular value. Okay, and if you compare it with blank, a blank database field means that there is a value for a given record and the value is empty. Okay, there is a difference between blank versus null. I'll suggest you that you go through it. I gave you one example. Null basically means that there is no value for a given record. But a blank field means that there's a value for a given record and it is empty or zero. Okay. For example, if we're talking in the form of strings, so strings may we'll call it empty. And 1 second. Yep. Strings may we'll call it empty, and zero, int may we'll call it zero. Okay, for blank values. Null means there is no value. Null is not equal to zero. You need to know that. Clear?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'll remove this. Let's solve the question. I'll go ahead. So the syntax is clear, the output is clear. You know you need to do a left join. So can we start solving it? You have to write it in the MySQL. Now, what do you need? You need, I'll leave it as it is. Select, I'm leaving it right now. From which table? You need one from the person table. So I'm giving from person and I'm giving it a small nickname called as alias. Agar aap in technical terms you call it, it's called alias. So I'm giving the person table a nickname of P. Okay, and I am doing a left join on what? On address, and I'm giving it a nickname A. Okay, now instead of writing person.person ID or person.last name, I can just write P.person ID, P.last name. So I've given a small nickname to my person table and address table. That's a temporary one, right? Now going ahead, we have to find a common column. So what is the common column here? In both of the table, person table and the address table, what is the common column? Give me the answer. Person ID, great. On P dot person ID, sorry, it's in small, I'll write it in small only. Person ID is equals to A dot person ID. Now, what do I need? I need first name, right? I need first name, last name, city and state. So first name and last name are present in what? It's present in the person's table. So I'm writing P dot first name, sorry, first name and P dot last name Okay. And I'm writing from the address table, I need city and state. So I'll write a dot city, comma, a dot state. Fine. Do you understand how this query is written? Any doubt in the query? Good. So I'll just run this out. Do it with me. See. So it shows accepted. You can see the test cases, right? It shows accepted, and once it shows accepted, you can just submit it. Yeah, so it shows accepted. Your question is accepted. This is your, you can see, I have made a new channel for this. So you can see it shows, it beats 7.37%. And this is your query that you wrote. Fine. So we have done one question already. Clear? So everything, any doubt that you have regarding this question, I'll post this video on YouTube. Every doubt that you have, please write it there. Please, if anything you want to do, if you want to revise it, go there, write it, and find your solution. Whatever you are doing, you will maintain a streak here. And this is the solution for this particular problem. Tomorrow, I'll come with another problem. Let's meet tomorrow then. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Bye-bye.